to lay this track down with facts. It's all about a show. Encyclopedia Black, taking you back with memories that were built when you were just a child, possibly reading books. I'm looking at the TV, cause really that was me. Never wanna miss my bet, starting right at 3. X-Men and Star Wars, now they got Star-Lord bumping Jay-Z.
This past season on CW's The Flash, our hero has been battling a speed demon specter by the name of Zoom. We finally learned who was actually behind the mask of Zoom, which still leaves us with a bunch of questions. I have a theory on how this might be occurring, but for right now I want to section this episode as a comic book 101, as we talk about the comic book Flash villain, Zoom. Welcome back to Encyclopedia Black. I'm Adam Black from the Kliqnation.com. This is Comic Book 101, where I'll attempt to teach you some basic information about a comic book character, usually as a tie-in to a TV episode or movie. First things first, we're not going to talk about Eobard Thawne with this show. I may get to him later on down the road, but instead we're going to talk about the character created by Jeff Johns and Scott Collins, Hunter Zolomon. This version of Zoom predates the New 52/post-Flashpoint DC universe. Alright, let's begin. Hunter Zolomon was a former profiler for the FBI who specialized in superhuman criminals. He dedicated his life to finding out how the criminal mind worked after he discovered his own father was a serial killer who killed Hunter's mom after she called the police on him. Later, his father died while confronting law enforcement. Zolomon was very good at his job as an FBI profiler, closing many cases. While working a case, tragedy struck when an overconfident Zolomon led an unprepared team into the trap of a criminal known as the Clown. The Clown wound up killing Zolomon's mentor and father-in-law. The attack also left Zolomon relying on the use of a cane to walk. His life became a country song as his wife left him and his career was now in ruins. He eventually found a job in Keystone City, home of Wally West the Flash. He worked side by side with the Flash, even becoming his friend. Disaster struck Zolomon again when Gorilla Grodd broke out of his cell at Iron Heights prison and began fighting the Flash. During the confrontation, Grodd attacked the Flash's mind and using telepathy vowed to attack someone Flash cared about, Hunter Zolomon. Zolomon was injured severely by Grodd, his vertebrae were snapped, and he was confined to a wheelchair. This left Hunter really low, leading him to ask the Flash one question. He begs the Flash to go back and fix his life. Hunter knows that in the past the government attempted to reverse engineer Flash's cosmic treadmill, and knows that there's a way for Wally now to go back and fix his life. He wants to go back to the hour where his father-in-law got killed and prevent that from happening. Wally refused, realizing the repercussions such an act could do. Hunter was hurt that his friend turned him down, and eventually Flash left him to his hospital room. Later, Hunter broke into the Flash Museum and found Barry Allen's cosmic treadmill, and aided by some research materials attempted to hotwire the treadmill, but its results were nonetheless explosive. After the explosion, Hunter realizes that he has gained super speed not by harnessing the Flash's speed force, but by manipulating time itself, making him a foe for Wally West to match up with. Zolomon felt that he could make the Flash a better hero by making him feel the same type of tragedy he felt, and so Wally West had a new enemy by the name of Zoom. In their first battle, Zoom took Wally to the limits of his abilities, ultimately requiring West to borrow the speed from Jay Garrick, the Golden Age Flash, Impulse, and Jesse Quick in order to get close to stopping him. Ultimately, Wally was able to stop Zoom, but at a very tremendous cost. I won't go into that here. I will give you some recommendations for reading material on the character. As discussed before, Zoom can alter time in relation to himself. He can't move backwards in time, only forward. His abilities give him the appearance that he's moving at super speed, but he's actually controlling time in order to pull this off. He also has the ability to snap his fingers, causing shockwaves. I always was a fan of this version of Zoom. I liked how his powers were different from the Flash's, which made him an enemy difficult for Wally West the Flash to face. I also liked how the character had a twisted morality, believing he's ultimately doing the Flash a service by causing Wally pain so that he can be a better hero. Now for your assigned reading, I recommend Flash Blitz trade paperback or the upcoming Flash by Jeff Johns book 2 that will be coming out in May. If you want individual issues in physical or digital form, you can get the Flash Volume 2 issues 192 to 194 and issues 197 to 200. Alright folks, that's it for me. Thanks for watching this episode of Encyclopedia Black. Please follow me on Twitter at @the_Adam_Black and follow the Kliqnation and Comic Book Chronicle Twitter accounts here. I'll be doing more comic book 101s on this channel, but for right now, I'll just have to see you next time.